For the players.
I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Max Cooper.
And this is For the Players, the pop culture position podcast with over 40 years of playing PlayStation and 10 plus years of games media. I want to thank you for joining us in this PlayStation conversation.
This PlayStation conversation happens every Monday morning at 8 a.m. on podcast services, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you'd like to join in future conversations with us, you can. Come and check out our socials. Discord, Instagram, and Twitter. All of those links can be found in the description below.
If you want to join,
one day, we will get our Facebook back.
Well, look, they're not posting any like spam or anything, so it's not so bad. Which is, you know, like, it could be worse. So they've just kind of like stolen it, not done anything with it, and no one's received any blackmail messages. So that's cool. But if you want to join the conversation as it happens, head over to twitch.tv/popcultures, where we usually record the show live, where you can jump in the chat and become part of the show. If you want to support the show, you can by telling your friends, telling your family about this PlayStation Pod. If you are listening on podcast services, be sure to give us a 5-star rating and a written review. You can find us on, if you're listening on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. I endeavor to answer every single comment. If you want to support us financially, you can at patreon.com/popculturist, as well as our merchandise store, popculturist.com/shop, where you can buy shirts and other assorted shit with our logos on it. Max, you are a podcast fiend today. Fiend.
Well, before we get in, soon to be 3, but before we dive into how busy of a man I am for once, we're almost at the 50 plus years of playing PlayStation combined, I think.
Holy shit, yeah, no, we're pretty close, eh? Actually, that's a very good point, because we'll both be hitting 25 years very, very soon.
Yeah.
Hot damn, ain't that horrifying. Actually, yeah, no, it'd be pretty close, because I think I was like 7, 8 years old, and I'm 32 now, so yeah, that checks out.
Yeah,
I barely remember this spiel.
I was also 6 to 7, and I'm also 32 now.
Oh fuck! Look at that! Look at all that math on a Sunday night. Hot damn! But yeah, it's one of those things. Like I just haven't, I don't want to have to relearn the spiel. Like that shit sounds difficult.
Relearn the spiel.
You know, look what happens. We throw one spanner in it, and it's instantly derailed. And then we want to start adding more years to it and stuff. No. But yes, you podcast fiend Max Cooper.
Yeah, apparently so. So yeah, no, I had some fun this morning. I won't. I think our show's going to go live before theirs.
We won't spoil what you talked about, but you can say who you went to the show with.
You can. Yeah, I headed over to chat with the boys from News to Reviews, Zach and Lockie. Had a great time. I think it's been about 1.5 years since I guested with those guys. It's been a long time.
Yeah, well, I did a couple months ago, and it was I had no idea it had been so long, and it sounds like yours is the same.
There's some hilarity with some technical issues, so it'll be fun. And then it's good fun. So I believe that show should be coming out Monday afternoon.
Ooh, so like a couple hours before ours drops. That's not so after ours drops, I should say.
Yeah,
that's not too.
And then after this, I will be talking with favorite replacement guest for myself, Paul James, for some Player 2 chats. It's very, very busy today.
Yeah, it's funny how you say replacement guest. Like once again, I spent a big hunk of last night. Like I don't know why. Actually, no, last night. What was it? Saturday morning, and I had to drive to Melbourne, and I was trying to think of ways to. Actually, it's probably great. We'll just talk about it now. It's not. It would be like we're not recording live because that's not fucking wanting today. But in the drive to Melbourne, I was thinking to myself about ways that what we can do to revamp FTP or PopC or whatever. And one of the things I was thinking about, because like most things are branded under the pop culturist, we really only do one thing these days, which is just for the players. So I'm like, I was kind of debating, like, do we just fucking rebrand everything back to just for the players? Because like the pop culturist, no one really searches that shit. Like if our name of our stuff is For the Players, the PopC PlayStation podcast, like we're gonna hit SEO better. It's gonna be more focused content, and I don't do Young the Wrestlers or anything anymore. So it is just this. It should make it more searchable, more interesting. Like it demonstrates the niche better. I don't know. Like it's not like I don't want to get rid of the PopC branding. Like I've been. For the longest time, I was like, oh, I like having the overarching brand because that allows us to do more things, but I have no interest and or fucking motivation or emotion to want to do any more.
Or time these days now that you're a wrestling bigwig on most weekends.
That's true. Yeah, most weekends I end up working a wrestling show, and during the week I just barely want to exist, let alone like come and sit in a room and do Twitch or... But even then, I could still do Twitch under For the Players or whatever. It doesn't change anything. You know, it's like we are so heavily focused on the PlayStation content, it would actually probably be a smarter decision. What do you think?
It makes sense.
It does make sense.
It really does make sense.
Yeah. Might have to do it, eh? But that also might need to do a bit of a rejazz of the For the Players logo, one that may not get as copyright strike when I try to put it on a merch store. So if any of our friends out there that are listening and have an idea for what the new For the Players logo could be, because we're hitting at what, 260 episodes right now. The logo's been pretty much the same the entire time. I'm sure it's probably due a revamp because I made it myself like 1,000 years ago, and I have not increased in Photoshop skills since then. So if anyone's got any ideas, I'm sure we could take it on board. But what else? Oh yeah, and then I'm now doing this at a complete. I'm trying to fucking guilt trip this person to get involved. One of the things we've talked about for the longest time, Max, is like every good PlayStation podcast, like almost all of them out there.
I thought you were gonna be like every good relationship, we're trying to add a third.
That too. Look, when the relationship's not going as well as you think, like maybe we should add a third, and then it just crumbles and falls.
Spice things up.
Yeah, so I'm expecting this to just crumble and fall as a result, like most relationships I tend to have. But this could be a bit of fun. So I was thinking, I have been. We've talked about it behind the scenes before about like maybe we get a third host, then who would it be? Because that makes our life easier. Say if like today your house is an absolute fucking hot fire, and you might not be able to record a show, there's someone that can jump in. Like the other week when I had to do a solo show, or maybe I can't do a show. God forbid, who fucking knows? I've done every one of these pricks.
Well, that's a scary thought.
It is a scary thought, but what? Like, what if? And everyone's heard our voice, like heard my thoughts for 250 something episodes. They've heard yours for a good 100 and something. Like, I
forget that it's been that long since I've been.
It has been a very long time. It may not be 100, but it's pretty fucking close.
Yeah, I think I was there for episode 100.
You may have been.
I think.
May have been. I don't remember. But, I was like, maybe we can get a third host. Because, if we look over, like, Sacred Symbols has done it. PS I Love You has done it. What other shows that I know about? There's another show called Triangle Squared. They've done it. Granted, the DualSense podcast, they haven't done it. PS This Is Awesome, they haven't done it. Platinum Explosion haven't done it. But, like, in terms of the most successful ones, have added a third, I guess. So, or like the Trophy Room, they don't have it. So it's look, maybe they know something we don't, or I have no idea. I just thought it'd be fun. And there's only one person that I'd ever want to be in that third chair. That's Paul James Games. But he does like 17,000 fucking podcasts. He does some new sports in one.
It's not getting his permission, it's getting his wife's permission.
Yeah. So Angelica, I know you don't listen to the show, but please. We wanted to work with Padge forever, and we have such a blast whenever we do the shows together, and it'd be fun. And I know ever since he lost his PlayStation podcast a number of time ago now, shit, that was a while ago. I know he's been itching to get back on, and I think he would be at home with us. Now they're saying that I've not spoken to him about this in like months, so I'm just dropping this out of fucking nowhere. So he's gonna listen to this tomorrow and be like, "God damn it!" And am I trying to guilt trip you, Padge? You know it. You absolutely know it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I know, look, PAX is coming up. There could be some cool shit to cover. Why not have a third person who's way fucking smarter, who's way more articulate than the both of us, and he knows PlayStation like
and
a
just
motherfucker.
way better connected.
Oh, dude, in every possible way, Padge is better than us. So, are we going to ride his... Do we want to ride his coattails? Yes. Yes, we are. That is what I'm asking. That is what I'm asking. Padge. We'll do it. Maybe. I don't know, but apart from fucking doing 1,000 podcasts today, like your Paul James Games Max, what else is going on? What else has your week been?
Not much. I've got a surprise. I feel like I've been saying this every fucking week for the last couple of months. My kid is fucking sick again.
Yeah, man.
She caught the croup from her cousins, so we've had just a fucking gnarly week. My kid's been rocking a temperature of like above 40 a couple of times, and had to take her to the doctors to get some roids because croup basically just constricts your throat so you can't breathe.
Yeah.
So the roids just open it back up again, and then because she's had steroids, she doesn't sleep, and then because she doesn't sleep,
like she just cries at a much lower register. She's like, duh! And she's lifting things, and like her testicles are so tiny now.
She like flipped her table while she's eating dinner, and
milk.
The fucking roid rages are real. So yeah, that's been my week. Work has kind of slowed down a bit now that my coworker is back. She is now Rona free, so that's always good. So got someone to talk to at work for an hour now, which is nice. not so lonely.
That's nice.
And then other than that, we went and checked out the progress for our house this weekend or earlier today, and we now have roof tiles. Granted, they're on pallets in our front yard, but they're there. They're ready to go up.
The next step is putting them on the roof.
Once
good.
Once the roof tile fairy rocks up to my place and puts them up, I guess.
And they just fucking it's like Snow White. A bunch of fucking woodland creatures come out and just build your house.
He comes out. The Pied Piper comes in, plays his flute, and all the Armstrong Creek rats just come in.
Oh my god! Because like the Armstrong Creek is just literally built on a field. There's so many mice, so it actually would make sense to have the Pied Piper come in and do that.
What about you? How's the Betson week?
Betson week is all right. So my co-worker Paris is back from his run at COVID, which has been really nice. He's come out of it pretty good, I guess, in that he's a big old workaholic. And he took the time away and didn't think about work for like 2 weeks, and now he's
learned how to do everything.
No, but now he's like correctly realigned. He's gone, wait, I don't want to fucking work I don't want to do work all the time. So now he's like, I'm going to be a lot harder in terms of I'm going to start here, I'm going to finish here, I'm going to do this, that, the other. Make some clear, defined rules and boundaries for his life, which is much appreciated, because he most certainly would work all the fucking time. What else? So it turns out the 2 weeks that he was away, we didn't burn the place down, which was nice. I'm pretty sure I talked about the Tasmania meeting last week. Did I?
Nope. Tasmania meeting?
Oh, so,
are you going to Tasmania?
Potentially, apparently. So I I had to give a presentation about a week or so ago, to these, individuals from this other support services company in Tasmania, and we essentially pitched, they've gone around to the company that I work for and looked at all the departments, because they're kind of like, well, we're looking at things to do and what, and maybe we can do work with Gen U in some way, and they came to Gamer and I did this presentation that apparently blew their fucking socks off. So they were like huge thumbs up about what we do, and I got this lovely email that went out to everyone from the second in charge of Gen U. Was all like, hey, thank you everyone for doing your presentations. Big shout out to Ryan, this, that, the other. I'm like, oh, me, this guy. And then I spoke to my boss's boss, and he's like, yeah, dude, there's probably a trip to Tasmania in your future, so keep an eye out. I was like, oh shit, all right, cool.
Woo, free trip.
Woohoo. To like the coldest fucking part of the country. Can't wait. Best case scenario, I get to go to the chocolate factory. Or Port Arthur. Go to Port Arthur and Paris, and I can do that ghost tour and fucking shit ourselves. That'd be awesome. But other than that, not too much. I had my son this weekend, so that was pretty cool. We spent some time together. We played a bit more Hello Neighbor, as we always do. He's now...
really?
Oh, no, what a fucking surprise. He's now discovered speedruns of Hello Neighbor. So the idea is now we need to fucking break the game. Because now that we finished it, he's like, well, I saw a video where someone did it in like 2 minutes. Can we do it in 2 minutes? I'm like, I can't. I'm fucking hopeless. He's like, but can we try? So we spent a bit of today trying to speed run the game. Look, it's doable. We certainly didn't do the speed run time. But there's a level of finesse that I don't have that speedrunners have. It's more of that. It's just a bit of fun. What else I get up to this week? That's it. I have a wrestling show this coming Wednesday. The DMDU presents the Mat Earth Society. They've got friends that own these fucking hairdressers, and they just put mats down in the middle of the shop, and people fucking duke it out, and it's gonna be dumb. And if you're around Melbourne, you should totally come. It'd be awesome. It's like $20, not even. Ball stupid. But let's get to where we start talking about the games that we've played. Apart from trying to speedrun Hello Neighbor, I have spent a bit more time this week with Stray. I fucking had a major brain fart. I can remember Stray. With Stray, I think I'm like 4 hours in at this point, 3 and a bit. I think I'm like 70% of my way through it. It's losing me. It's hard losing me.
Yeah, it lost me ages ago.
Yeah, like I'm at this point now where I'm just wanting to push through. And it's this situation where like the platforming is cool, it's fun, but there's no evolution to it in that the same level of environmental puzzles and platforming I did in minute 5 is now the same as I head into hour 5. And like there is a story, and you're trying to achieve these tasks but it is literally just a series of fetch quests in order to achieve the next thing, which then moves you to the next thing, which then you fetch something else, which then you fetch something else, and then you head into another area where you repeat the whole cycle again. And like I have not yet found the story that compelling to want to keep doing it, aside from now like the obligation to get it done. I was like, all right, cool, let's see how it goes. And it's just hard not working for me.
I super don't feel like I have that obligation because I scored it through PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, but I mean,
and I'm just like I don't care enough to push myself through it.
Yeah, my obligation is because I've not really finished that many games this year.
Yeah, I do that feeling.
And because I had that huge window where I just didn't fucking or I didn't play anything. I'm like, yeah, I probably should play something, eh?
I'm finding myself to be still partially in that window where I'm turning my PS5 on, and I'm like, I've got all these things that I could or should be playing. Like, I still haven't finished Forbidden West.
Yeah.
Still haven't gone back to my backlog stuff. Like, I've still got to do those. Played a bit more of Assassin's Creed. I downloaded and installed all my backlog games ready to play. And then when at a night time when I turn my console on, I'm off the back of 4 hours sleep, then 7 hours entertaining my very active child, and I'm just drained by the end of the night. I'm just like, you know what? I can't be bothered. I'll play like a game of Rocket League and then be like, nah, I'm not feeling this, and I'll do like a run of Fall Guys. I'm like, nah, this isn't doing it either. And then I'll be like, I'm just gonna watch some TV.
Yeah, and I still keep falling down random fucking YouTube rabbit holes, or I just I don't even know what I watch half the time. I just fucking exist. But like the Story of Seasons, Pioneers of Ollatown, like I still go in there, I chip that away a little bit. I played some Star Wars Racer Revenge today just because I couldn't fucking think of anything else to play. And then I had the urge this morning. I was like, you know what? I should play Disco Elysium again. I have a big TV, so all the text is not going to be a problem. I did enjoy where it started, and it's kind of that right bit of fun. And then I probably won't do it. I jumped into. Pardon me. That winter sale is still on. They have that Disney collection, the one with the Aladdin and the Lion King, which I almost bought last sale, but I didn't, and it's like fucking $12 now. I'm like, oh, Like, maybe is that what I need? Like, just get...
Be fun to play with James.
Well, because I have a lot of nostalgia for the Lion King,
Aladdin.
specifically.
Ooh, nah. Psh.
I didn't have the Lion King. My neighbor had Lion King. My neighbor had Aladdin. I had the Lion King. And I think I had a shareware version because I never really got like 3 levels I could do. And then it just stopped. I was like, poo. So I would like to see how I would go now as a 32-year-old player compared to whoever the fuck what I was when I played Lion King. Especially that
arguably
second
just
level,
as
which
dexterous
fucks you up. Yeah. Yeah, obviously I played the Aladdin one a lot at my neighbor's place, and when I was growing up, and I enjoyed that too. So it's an easy win. And there's another game that always catches my interest. It's called Serial Cleaner, and I think the idea of the game is you're a cleanup crew in like fucking Harvey Keitel's character in Pulp Fiction, where you get called and come clean up a crime scene and without getting caught. And like that sounds dumb for me, and it's like $3.
I mean, I have been playing Power Washer Simulator.
Oh shit! Yeah,
it's obviously on that Games Pass.
Yeah.
My wife came in the other night. She's like, "What the fuck are you playing?" I'm like, "Power Washing Simulator." She's like, "How bored are you?" I'm like, "I'm so fucking bored."
Yeah. Well, like friend of the show,
I'm just like fucking gurneying a van.
Friend of the show and co-host of the Young and the Restless, Gem, the wrestler. She's been playing it as well, and apparently the storyline's absolute batshit. Like, it just gets real fucking weird. Like, there's a campaign in Power Washer Simulator.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk it? But, yeah, it's pretty much all I've been playing this week. I know that you've been absolutely smashing fucking Outriders.
Yeah, so I've gotten from Apocalypse tier like 15 to now 26, I think I am sitting at.
Christ.
My grind is strong. I'm literally clearing one room, then resetting. It's crazy.
By yourself still?
I joined a Discord and like find people who are playing. It's just a little bit faster doing it with other people. Because when I invite my friends to come and play with me, they just ghost me and don't reply. He's like,
yeah. I am as one of them. That checks out. Yep. That was the night that I fucking just passed out on the couch.
I made Cass buy it and download it, and he's ready to play. And then on Friday, he's like, "Hey man, let's play." I'm like, "My kid's dying. I'm really sorry. Can't play tonight."
Fuck you, Cass. Bye.
Which was true. Like my kid was super sick, and I couldn't get away.
Well, I know Padge has been meaning to play through it as well. If only he had some show where he could talk about his experience with other players.
But other than that, I've been playing the games that I'm married to. I'm still playing Rocket League. I haven't touched Diablo 2 this week, which is crazy. Been playing a lot of League of Legends. I picked up Live a Live and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 for Switch. Haven't touched them because every time I pick up my Switch, my kid's like, "My turn? My turn?" I'm just like, no. I finished another few chapters in Disgaea 6. Game's still rad. I spend way too much time farming shit that I've already done to level up my characters, to auto battle shit. It's a really dangerous game for me because I love farming and I love grinding, and this game's all about the grind. So, yeah, it's just been this hot mixed mash of shit. Like just before we started recording, I was playing Turbo Racing Golf Racing. It's basically fucking Rocket League for golf.
What?
Yeah, so instead of playing soccer, you play golf. There's 8 cars. You all drive simultaneously. You can't fuck with anyone else's ball. You can only hit your own ball.
All right, yeah, okay. That makes more sense. I was like, well, from a competitive aspect, you just like punk and just knock someone's shit out into fucking hole 7.
There's some Mario Kart-esque power-ups. Like you can pick up a rocket so you can shoot the other player's cars so they like lose their momentum so they can't hit their ball as far.
Okay.
But you just fucking ram into the ball and just try and get in the hole. It's dumb fun.
Very nice.
So, yeah. That's been my gaming week, just like a fucking few games here and there. Mainly, I've just been watching TV.
One thing I did do this week, though, to come off the back of last week. So, a friend of mine, Ange, you go check him out on Twitter, that guy Ange. He's a friend of mine. He stays at my place a couple of days a week because he works with me, and he lives his house is in Fairfield. He's like, fuck driving to Geelong every day. I'm like, haha, you took the job, you dickhead. And so he is quite an impulsive purchaser. So he comes to me on Monday going, I bought a thing. I'm like, fuck, what did you buy? He goes, I bought the Backbone. You know, the Backbone 1 that we were talking about last week, the PlayStation remote play, controller. I'm like, motherfucker, you don't have a PS5. He's like, but I will one day. Like, all right, cool, fair enough.
That's the way. Yeah. That's the mindset you have to have.
Yeah.
Wish it into being.
Yeah, so he picked up the Backbone. I got to dick about with it a little bit on the Monday night, and I kind of want one. Hey, yeah. In that, it just makes better. It makes remote play better. And like it's relatively straightforward. You just plug it in, it just works. Your iPhone just picks it up in an instant and goes, "Yep, cool, that works, done." Which is awesome, by the way. So yeah, it reads. You don't have to press your button on the touch, because I tried to play some remote play when I was at my father's this weekend, when I was in Melbourne, and I just having to put my fingers all over the screen is just horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. But like the controller, it feels good. It's with the size of my iPhone 11 Max, it's the equivalent size of like a Switch, is slightly smaller, certainly bigger than a Vita. But so it feels good. The controls feel good. The thumbstick feel like the thumbstick's probably the only downside. They feel like the Switch ones. It's a bit of a bummer because the Switch ones are hit and miss. Buttons press pretty alright. The directional buttons are kind of a bit of a tough press. But other than that, it works pretty smooth. Couple downsides. One is the cost at $179 Australian. I am compelled to impulse purchase it. And then I remember the price. And then I go, well, it's just because I don't want to play games in the lounge room. I just like some nights I just want to lie in bed and play games. And what kind of fucking first world problem is that? And is that worth $180? And I go, no, it is not.
Do you have a laptop?
Yeah.
Could you not just... There's a remote play app that you can use on PC. Could you not just do that?
But because like I have tried in the past. Like I do have one of those fucking clip shell thingies that sits on the controller. But it's really fucking weird. It's uncomfortable. Like it really skews the weight of the controller. And it really pulls it towards the back. So you end up cranking this part of your wrist, because you're trying to hold the controller how you normally would, while also holding the additional weight of your phone. And it's really hard. And like it's good for about like 3 minutes, and you go, oh, fuck. As your hands start hurting. Once again, first world problems. The other downside is it does work just by plugging it in. However, there is an integrated app within Backbone, but it's $79 a year. Or $49.
Oh, what was that? I missed that.
So there is an ongoing subscription for the Backbone that's like $50 to $70 a year. I forget. I think my brand says 79, but then I'm also thinking 49 as well. And I don't really know why, because the idea like PS Remote Plays there, games part a gaming Microsoft xCloud, whatever. You pay for them from your own subscriptions. So I've not quite worked out what the fuck this subscription for it is. And apparently it comes with games. Okay, cool. I have other services for that, so I don't know why it has its own built-in fucking subscription. And I think that without it, you can't really use the app. I don't think. I don't know. It's real weird in the short experience. But I did got to take some candid photos with it on my bed. I happened to have my sheets, my bed cover changed, so I had my PlayStation Duna cover. So I took some sexy shots with the Backbone 1 on the bed, showing off my tattoo on the thing, hoping that Backbone would go, "That's nice," and send me one.
I mean, why would they? You've clearly already got one.
No, I don't have one. I specified my house. My friend. I would like one, you fucks. I didn't say you fucks. I think that would be as effective. But look, that was the news. That was the news of last week, Max. Let's get into the news for this week. In a section we call Inform the Players, we tell you about what happened this week in PlayStation.
Okay. This week in PlayStation, let's kick off with some not fungible tokens.
Whoa.
Just a few weeks after Sony unveiled its PlayStation Stars loyalty scheme and stated that the program's digital rewards are, quote, definitely not NFTs, the company has been found asking players whether they would be interested in purchasing NFTs. This question comes via a new PlayStation survey that is available currently at EVO 2022, the big fighting event that is happening this weekend, which is also now owned and sponsored by Sony. It asks, quote, which of the following NFT/digital collectibles would you most be interested in purchasing? The potential answers include EVO branded, favorite music artists, favorite esports players or teams, PlayStation items, and favorite game characters.
There is no
option to be like, I don't fucking want NFTs. Would you buy, being the PlayStation like sellout that you are, would you buy a fucking PlayStation NFT?
How much is it?
Does it matter?
Yeah.
You're talking about buying a $180 PlayStation branded backbone. Like let's say it's $150 for a PlayStation logo NFT. Would you buy it?
No.
What would be the right dollar amount for you to purchase the NFT from Sony? If you could buy a Joel or Ali NFT, what would it be? Like Kratos NFT. You could NFT his Leviathan axe. What's your price limit on a PlayStation branded NFT?
See, that's the thing. If it's a very specific, like Kratos and Atreus, and then I could use it as a tattoo or something, like that's cool. But like I know fair well that NFTs are fucking useless in the fact that when it comes to anyone can have it. Like I am a fucking moron. That is unquestionable. I have 250 something episodes of this show proving exactly that. Regardless of all the other episodes of podcasts I've ever done in my life, like you learn very quickly I'm a fucking idiot. But I'm not quite NFT dumb.
That's where the line is.
Yeah, today. Once again,
good call.
I have failed in most of my life. I have made many dumb decisions, and
buying an NFT could be the next one.
And I've not ruled out making worse choices because they'll just happen. But I, at least consciously at this moment in time, an NFT is not on that list. But if they're like, hey, here's this cool Harvest Moon Back to Nature NFT, I'd be like, because no one cares about that game. I bought it. No one would want to copy and paste it because fucking Harvest Moon Back to Nature. I'm like, yeah. But for me, it's important. But it's one of those things. It's just like, I'm very aware that NFTs are fucking dumb. And it would take me a lot. It would take a lot to convince me otherwise. There would need to be some but the problem with the NFT as an industry is like, it's just nothing. It's just like, if they could hard confirm that no one else has this but you, which they cannot do, it's not for me. And NFTs by design are fucking expensive because of how exclusive they are. I don't have any fucking money. As I said, I was just tossing up a controller. I'm like, I don't need that. And then prior to that, I was like, do I really need to eat this week? You know what I mean? So it's like, it swings and roundabouts on my decisions. But what about you, Max?
No, NFTs are dumb.
Yep, cool.
Please don't do it.
That's the name of the episode. NFTs are dumb. Yeah, but look, do you think that there'll be some suckers out there? Because yes. we are big PlayStation fans, obviously.
I'm a big proponent for people can fucking spend their money how they want to spend their money.
I'm going to judge you for it.
But don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Is it concerning in that, as you rightly pointed out, with the announcement of the PlayStation Stars, like, there's no NFTs. Hey, what's your thoughts on NFTs?
Well, I think the difference.
Do you think this is them testing the water? Or?
I think the difference is between the PlayStation loyalty scheme is that you do stuff to earn them for free.
Yeah.
Whereas this is, what would you purchase?
Yes.
Because they're not going to give away exclusive NFTs for fucking nothing, are they?
No. Look, I remember when they built that fucking real platinum trophy. I tried to nick that shit, and they're like, nah. I was like, that's fair. That's fair. There are more well-deserving platinum collectors than myself. I just wanted to put it there. I didn't want to fucking care about it. I was going to put it on the shelf.
What if you could buy a platinum trophy NFT?
Once again, there's 1,000.
Dylan would be all over it.
Yeah, there's 100,000 people that would want to buy that before me, and one of them is Dylan from the Explosion Network. He's one of them. Buddy would probably be one of them. Every motherfucker that there is that like there are like in terms of, if you were to look up PlayStation trophies, my ranking is like fucking 200,000. Like it's probably even worse than that actually. So like I'm not the guy to sell you on an NFT platinum trophy, but. All right, I'm going to do two things here because this one's a fucking quick bit of news. For those that are playing at home, the PS Plus games for this month have gone live, and as discussed last week, they were Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, Yakuza Like a Dragon, and The Little Nightmares. There is currently no news on what the extra premium catalog will get this month, other than the previously discussed Yakuza titles. Moving along, there's concerns, Max, about the Activision Blizzard purchase. As regulators to continue to pore over the acquisition before it's approved, Reset Era spotted a questionnaire submitted in Brazil in which the PlayStation maker was asked about its thoughts on the near $70 billion deal. Now, there's a reason for this. I believe it's part of the Brazilian law, not Brazilian as in the shaved front area, the Manscaped deal is done, but part of it is like, you know, companies are able to like literally contest or demonstrate their thoughts on big mergers and acquisitions, or big purchases like this. It's just it's a part of their governmental system, which is fascinating. But of course, the responses are fascinating because it's in the firm's best interest for the buyer to get blocked. So obviously, PlayStation benefit if it doesn't happen. Even if Microsoft has claimed the franchises like Call of Duty, etc., will remain multi-platform. Specifically, the manufacturer points out that Call of Duty is, quote, an essential game, a blockbuster, a AAA type game that has no rival. Put that on the box art. And a release that can, quote, influence users' console choice, end quote. Sony says that it's impossible to create a competitor, and even if it could stump up the cost, the series is so, quote, entrenched that it would, quote, not be able to rival it. It added that, quote, no other developer can devote the same level of resources and expertise in game development, even if they could, Call of Duty is overly entrenched so that no rival, no matter how relevant, can catch up. End quote. It continued that the series defines the first-person shooter category and provided comparisons to Battlefield to illustrate that there's no contest between the brands. Sony also points out the Activision Blizzard continues to recruit for Call of Duty and is looking to expand the series' already significant workforce, further lessening any chance of a rival emerging. Max, what's your thoughts?
This is very... I mean, they make good points. I don't see Call of Duty as the console defining choice of purchase these days.
I disagree, but yes, go ahead.
Obviously, Call of Duty over the last few years have had its issues. And, you know, obviously I can't even think of what year, when the competitive scene was played on Xbox and when it moved across to Sony. Obviously that did take a big part. Yes, it is that big AAA title. Yes, it does. Obviously, there's 3 studios working on it at any given time now. They're pumping these motherfuckers out every year. There's like 1,500 to 1,600 people working on it at any given time, and it really is. There really is no other game like it that comes close. You know, Battlefield has had a myriad of issues over its past few releases, and it is that big genre defining game for the first person shooter. Like that is unquestionable. Their statement of, even if we wanted to, there's not enough talent out there anymore to make something comparable to that game that would even rival it. Now, yes, Microsoft has said it's going to stay multi-platform, but to what degree? And at what point should it be like, well, we don't really need it to be multi-platform anymore. It doesn't benefit us. I mean, for however many years they do decide to keep it multi-platform, it's going to be available first day one on Games Pass. So if you own an Xbox, you're getting that bad boy for free yearly. And on PlayStation, you're going to get hit with that $125 fee because eventually they're going to stop making it for PS4. You're gonna not be able to buy that $99 cross-platform version. And here in Australia, that a AAA PS5 game, RRP is $125. And yeah, it's rough, and I can see why they're concerned. Will this be enough to stop that deal from going through? I don't think so.
No. Yeah, so this deal's happening. Whether they like it or not, this deal's happening. But there are, as to sort of reaffirm some of the things that you said, so you are bang on in that Sony does, or at least Sony Brazil or Sony PlayStation worldwide, do make a lot of really good points here. In that, there are times where Call of Duty is what players have used to decide what their next console would be, especially around a console generation. Maybe once they've started on one, they'll play it until the next console. So like if you played on 360, because at the time the marketing deal for Call of Duty with Activision was on 360. So what was the dominant place to play your Call of Duty? Xbox, because you also had the 60 days ahead. Pardon me, when it came to map packs, big advantage. PlayStation and Sony get a hold of the marketing rights for the PS4. Boom. Sony suddenly gets those 60-day advantages on the map packs. People sway over there because people don't want to wait. And if everyone's transitioning to the new console, you and all your mates, everyone goes to PlayStation. No harm, no foul. And this is where the problem lies, and you pointed out. That point is Game Pass, or Game Pass, right? Games Pass, whatever the fuck, however you actually pronounce it. That is the deciding factor here. Because as you said, that is the decision maker. No one is like, if you have the option of paying $120 Australian or getting it on Games Pass for $10 or sometimes even $1, that like, so even though if you go to Microsoft, they're like, hey, look, we're not making it exclusive, right? We're offering it on the PlayStation. It's gonna happen. Yeah, we might have some exclusive things like map packs or whatever, but Sony did that too. They had that Spec Ops thing that was exclusive for a year. Okay, cool. But like, just because you're not making it exclusive doesn't mean you're doing that level of behavior. In that, by putting it on Game Pass, and they will, you are making it exclusive. You are actively de-incentivizing everybody else from picking it up on that console. And as you said, right at this moment in time, they have said, we have no plans to make a lot of our games exclusive. Because the second that they do that, especially on the back of purchasing Bethesda, the FCC in America, institutions like this in Brazil suddenly go, whoa. But once that deal is locked in, they can do what they want, right? So who knows what will happen in a year after, 2 years after it's done. And as you said, when they make that one call and they go, let's cut it. They could do it. Nothing says that they can't. And we've learned pretty quickly that, Microsoft speak out of both sides of their mouth when it comes to games are for everyone, but mostly just us. And in PlayStation aren't fucking immune here either. And the same concept, the idea of, Final Fantasy, they've essentially got them locked down for what appears to be moving forward exclusivity, which is cool. But technically it's not exclusive. It's on PC and PlayStation, same as Call of Duty. But, like, I don't see them as apples to apples. Final Fantasy will never move as many units as Call of Duty. And the idea that Call of Duty is the number one, the tentpole, the staple within the first-person genre, it is. You look at every first-person shooter right now. Whose control scheme do they mimic? Call of Duty's. Ever since Call of Duty 4, when that became the standard, everyone's duplicated it. Think about how fucking chaos controller schemes were back in the day. The popularity of things like Team Deathmatch, King of the Hill, they all existed, but how are they done now? The Call of Duty way. It's the same as like no one ever is going to attempt to release their own cola because why? Because Coca-Cola have it. Pepsi have it, but their market share is staggeringly less. Coca-Cola don't even have to market they're that big of a company. Call of Duty were in that position. They've drastically declined in their sales, in their popularity, and everything. But like, I think it was Activision, their total number of players, I think it was 150 million, and that's dropped to like 96 or something. That's across the company. So it's kind of like, well, there are drops, but still 96 million people playing Activision games. Like, that's nothing to fucking like, you know, choke out about. But I have some thoughts, clearly. I didn't realize I gave so much of a shit, but I really don't. But I do. It's weird. Like, I know full well that it's what'll be will be, in that no matter what we say, no matter what anybody says, money is the answer here. And if it's within the financial interests of Microsoft to do this, then okay, and they will do it because money. Yeah, and as the race to the bottom has continued about games and their pricing and their quality and the drivers of the player, they'll go where it's cheaper. They go Game Pass, regardless of the game. So that's very fucking cynical way to look at it, I suppose, but it's very most accurate.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you know, they are a business. They are designed to make money, and they're going to do it the best way that suits them without making everyone else money in the process.
Yeah, very much.
Because, I mean, obviously, once they, in that multi-platform, like, if the deal goes ahead, it goes through, obviously, they will get a portion of every sale on a PlayStation console, because they will own it. They'll still get a slice of the pie over there. Mm-hmm. So they'll kind of be double dipping to a degree, but, you know, if they can make everyone buy their fucking consoles to play that game, it's going to make them more money in the long run. All right. Let's talk about the Crystal Hammer.
Well done.
A leaked script from the next Tomb Raider game, allegedly named Project Jawbreaker, has been struck with a DMCA by publisher Square Enix. PlayStation podcast.
Superior PlayStation podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, much.
Slightly adjacent PlayStation podcast, Sacred Symbols. Obtained a document from the game, which is being used to help cast characters. The sheet in question, which was widely reported on, introduced a rebooted Lara Croft now in her mid-30s. Having had experience as a solo adventurer, the document went on to show that she now seeks a team to overcome a challenge too great to tackle alone. In order to present the information, ex-IGN journalist Colin Moriarty and his co-host performed the script for their Patreon subscribers.
That was awesome.
But Square Enix immediately contacted the site in an attempt to get it removed. It's worth remembering that developer Crystal Dynamics, which makes the Tomb Raider games, is due to be acquired by the Embracer Group, but the deal is yet to be closed. It's possible that Square Enix is being extra protective of this property to ensure that the sale goes through. Moriarty and his team have decided to comply with the DMCA, but as part of a separate podcast explaining the situation, he argued that the podcast fell within the constraints of fair use. Quote, "I was acting in the notion that this is fair use. This is general interest. This is of huge general interest. I didn't break into Crystal Dynamics to steal it," he said. While the audio is being removed from Patreon per the platform's request, it will continue to exist in other locations for the time being. Is it fair use? You're kind of taking a piece of leaked work that obviously came from that company to begin with in some way, shape, or form, and reading it verbatim.
Yeah, look, there is some interesting stuff here, right?
Like
a couple different factors that are at play. And first of all, we'll get that much of another stuff. So, the idea that is it fair use? Well, it's certainly transformative because they didn't they read it word for word. They read it as if it was, but it was clearly taking the piss. Like Chris Raygun, who was playing Lara, gave the shittest Cockney accent you've ever heard in your entire life. So there is no way that they are taking it seriously, and they were commenting on it throughout. So it's not as if they went, here it is in its entirety with no content, no context, no commentary, just this, that, the other. It's like they didn't just post the documents on a website, right? Pardon me. Yes, they read it out verbatim. Yes, they played with it. Yes, they discussed it. It's essentially like us reading out a news article we didn't steal it, I guess. So we went, leaked an article. But like, I don't know. To me, I certainly agree in yes, in some ways it's not really fair use, but in some ways I think it falls within that sort of satire space, in the idea that like how, if you were to read someone's, like in the same way that if someone was to redub a Donald Trump speech in a silly accent and comment about how what he said's fucking stupid, isn't that the same thing? Except they're not leaked documents, I guess. So that's that.
I think the other big thing is they're directly get like monetary gains from this because it's on a Patreon feed.
Correct, and so this is the thing. That's the other thing that's fascinating about this, right? So as you said, the only space to get copyright DMCA'd was Patreon, right where their money is. They didn't give, because clearly they didn't give a fuck about the script itself being presented, because they didn't stop it on YouTube or podcast services or anywhere else. They just went. Phew. Like, to me, this is Crystal Dynamics sending a message. This is, Square Enix sending a message, being like, we're going to go right for where your money is, right for your wallet. This is the control that we can deliver. I don't think they did it in a complete fucking choke out Colin sort of way, but it is interesting that they only went for the one place. Like, you'd think if they gave so much, like, this is breaching our copyright, flag it everywhere, because that information is still disseminated. So to me, it's not about the fair use. It's not about the copyright. It's about that message. And I think you've now hit it on the head there as well. And that with that purchase to the Embracer Group in the works, it's within Square's, it's within Crystal Dynamics' best interest to ensure that shit like this doesn't happen, because they need to keep those IPs squeaky fucking clean to not affect those sales. Because right now, which once again, if that's the case, why not block it everywhere so no one can hear it? Because if they're concerned that what Colin and the team have done is make the next Tomb Raider game look subpar, why not wipe it everywhere? If it's affecting their copyright so intensely that they have to claim it, do it everywhere. Otherwise, what are you trying to say? Max?
Yeah. I agree. I pretty much said what I thought, and I agree agree with what your comments were. It makes sense to, with the fact that they're trying to sell off Crystal Dynamics, it makes sense to try and keep that as clean as possible so they don't have an excuse to cancel the deal. As far as we know, it looks like Square's trying to sell off a few of their, or at least, stakes in some of their developers to try and get some more cash flow going. So it makes sense, but yeah, it's interesting to see that they only block it in one area, despite the fact that that's obviously where they're gaining the most monetization from that, as opposed to block it everywhere if it was the big issue of the leaked script.
Yeah. The following news article is scheduled for one fall, and it comes from AEW. AEW Fight Forever is the first official all-elite wrestling console video game, and it's currently in development at Studio Ukes, previously known for their work on WWE's 2K series. While no release date has yet been announced and only a short teaser trailer was shown, AEW Fight Forever is confirmed to be coming to both PS5 and PS4. AEW is considered and is the second largest professional wrestling promotion in the United States, in Western markets, behind the WWE. The promotion itself was founded in 2019 by the team of the Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, Kenny Omega, who else was in that team? Cody Rhodes, as well as Tony Khan. But it already has legions of diehard fans, this guy, with its long-running storylines receiving particular praise, most specifically the storyline of Hangman Adam Page, which made me cry after 2 years of long-term storytelling. So it's no surprise then that AEW would be looking to get into the video game scene, which was traditionally being dominated by the rival WWE. There's not very many wrestling games out there. There's WWE, there is Fire Pro Wrestling, which is also a very old game, and that was sort of helmed by New Japan Pro Wrestling. There's a couple little random games pop up. There's Rumbleverse, which is coming out soon as well. But the game itself will feature a deep career mode, a plethora of match types, from ladder matches to exploding barbed wire death matches, online co-op, and in-depth customization options. Now, I was very excited when I received this email from Coke Media, which are now known as PlayOn, which is a much better name. It's spelled weird, but it's much, much better. I fucking died. I was very, very excited. Because there's a lot of things that have me interested. Obviously, AEW is a big one, of course. The cover art is gross. But I'm very excited because I give a shit about these wrestlers. Now, granted, with some changes in WWE over the last 2 weeks, my interest in WWE is coming back. But this is what I want. This is the game that I want, and I feel that having Ukes behind it, there is a particular line of quality, like a standard seal,
a pedigree, almost.
A pedigree. Thank you, but not Triple H's finisher. The pedigree, slightly different. Like accidental wrestling reference there, Max. Well done.
It wasn't accidental.
Oh, well done. Oh. Ukes as the king of kings.
Do I care about this game? No.
No. Other fucking, there's no...
Am I happy for you and can't wait to hear you talk about it for fucking 20 weeks straight like your TV? Also, no. But
look, there's more than one wrestling family. Cody Rhodes reference. There you go.
Actually, while we're on the subject of wrestling, that is what I did this week. I watched Fight With Your Family.
Oh, what a movie. What a fucking movie. It's brilliant. What a movie. Very, very good. But yeah, no, look, this has me excited. We're now getting some more details about it. Thankfully the team over at AEW and AEW Games have been very open about what they're wanting this game to be. So the potential for it is pretty amazing. The roster is awesome. I really hope it will focus more on the wrestling side of things, which will be a ton of fun. And especially when it comes to the different match types, as you mentioned. So if we could have exploding barbed wire death matches, fuck yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
Oh, okay. So
I don't even think that sentence could go together. Like,
so
I don't think barbed wire explode.
Exploding barbed wire deathmatch is that the ropes are replaced with barbed wire. And the idea is that when you hit the ropes, they trigger explosions. But it's just pyro. But the idea is you hit the barbed wire and boom, and then there's explosions that get set off around the ring. There's a bunch of different well placed traps, essentially. But the idea that you can have some sort of like death matchy sort of blood and guts matches, which is cool, because they also have war games or blood and guts, which is their two rings, 2 cages, whatever. Like if they can have all that fucking nonsense in there, then I'm totally in. I'm totally in.
He says like he's not totally in anyway, whether or not that's missing.
I was totally in anyway, but I'm very excited.
That's good. I'm super happy for you.
No, you're not.
I'm not at all. No, I am. All right, Ryan. It's time to get on board the Keeley hype train once again. As you know, Keeley is the presenter / producer behind several of the gaming calendar's largest events, including the Game Awards, Summer Game Fest, and Gamescom opening night. Gamescom opening night is happening this month, Ryan, 23rd of August. Back in I think it's held in Germany, I believe.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
it's back live this year,
and people are going. Like I'm aware of one of our media associates, not us, of course, but like I would love to say friend, but I don't think we're quite there yet. I know that they're flying over to go check it as part of Press Start, which is awesome. So yeah, it looks things are happening. People can go places. They can do things again. That's fucking cool.
Are you ready for another Keeley event?
No.
Are you ready for the few world premieres that are going to be shown?
Look, as I said last time, Keeley did his thing. I don't fucking care. Like, it's the difficulty that I have is that you and I, we are kind of in this space where we go, we care about what we care about, and like we'll stay relative blackout, or we'll all right, sure. But like by removing there's a couple of games we care about, and we already know about them, then that leaves only the shit games to be announced, or games that we don't care about.
Maybe this is when God of War gets delayed at Gamescom.
Fuck you. Well, because has Sony mentioned that they're attending? Or they're not attending?
I don't know.
They
don't do anything anymore. They just do their own thing.
No, they just stay at home. Like
they'll post a blog on Tuesday night.
Well, because as we know, Jim Ryan is a seasoned gamer. He loves playing games. He's always playing insert recently released title. So as a result, it makes sense why he wants to stay home and play games and not go to these events. You know, it's just this. It's pretty much what he wants to do. But look. If you were to ask me,
maybe that's when Hogwarts Legacy will get announced.
That's
maybe
we'll
get a date.
If you were to ask me what are they going to announce, I don't fucking know. It'll likely be another Call of Duty trailer. Hogwarts Legacy, I think, might be on there. Skull and Bones better get some coverage because that motherfucker's gonna need it.
Doesn't it come out before the 23rd of when the fuck is it coming out?
The day before God of War.
Oh, that's right. It's coming out right before God of War.
Yeah, and like with everyone, once again, with everyone having their own fucking shindig, there's no reason. Like there'll be a lot of really cool like AA games if that's your interest. There'll be a lot of indie games if that's your interest. But like, personally, like look, I'm sure there'll be one or two things that I'll go, oh, and that's it. Just oh.
Mild surprise.
Do you expect a greater response than oh?
Not at all.
All right, next up isn't quick bitties, Max, because there's a sneaky bit of news.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about this sneaky bit of news. I should pull that up. Okay, so this sneaky bit of news pertains to Supermassive Games. Obviously, they were recently acquired by was it Nordisk?
Yeah, Nordisk, a film company based out of that area.
So in a recent investor call, they have stated that they will still be independent, but they will have more muscle now. And also, quote, in a nutshell, the strategy is to carry on the trajectory we're on as a prolific developer with multiple annual releases. We are more than 300 people now. Our roadmap takes us to 400 plus within the next 12 months. And we already know what our releases will be for the next 5 or 6 years. We have a good, solid plan that we've bought into. Those releases are largely geared around growing our audience, which means they require an amount of innovation, and some of that will be in the genre we're most famous for, but also some diversification in the types of games we make, growing across platforms, genres, media. It's a big and ambitious plan that Nordisk and ourselves are committed to. They are committed to multiple titles per year.
Now, the reason I want to talk about this, Max, is because apparently I just want to rant like fucking crazy this week. Couple things. Well, apparently the idea that like Nordic is just owns them and they can do whatever they want. Well, that's cool. They're getting more staff. That's cool because they're gonna fucking need it. Not for the twice annual release games that they have, but the annual release games they have. Like we saw the state of the Quarry. Some parts amazing, some parts horrendous. You look at Man of Medan, not very good. Little Hope, I really enjoyed Little Hope. Little Hope was great. House of Ashes, haven't finished it. Why? Because it sucks. Don't feel it. Until Dawn, Rush of Blood. That's a pretty fucking cool, it was an alright on-rails VR. Patient Zero, yeah, it was alright. Until Dawn, sick. Fantastic. So, what'd they do before that? Not a whole lot. They did some Little Big Planet DLC and stuff prior to that. Cool. Thumbs up. But, you peaked, bro. You had your moment. You're trying, like, you are Hanson. I love Hanson. But you are Hanson. You made your umbop. You know, and what are you trying to do now? You keep trying to release new albums, new songs. Actually, that's probably a real bad example because Hanson kind of made like 2 hit songs and fucked off voluntarily. What's an example? I don't know. He keeps trying to do reunion tours. I don't know. Look, they're a band that were a one-hit wonder, and they tried to follow it up. And look, they've had okay songs since. Rad. But like nothing's beating that fucking first single. You know, it's just too good. Or at least first single, quote unquote, or at least the breakout song. So, having a look at the games like House of Ashes, which was poo, and like the Quarry, which was saved from I almost said Ouya, but it's not. It's Stadia. Like okay, cool. But the fact that like if they're in that press statement, they pretty much said we are going to continue making the games that we already do. Which to me, and I'm not the only person to think this, is it's Telltale Games all over again. Except this time they're in the IP. Congratulations. But like, You know what killed Telltale? Making a lot of the exact same fucking thing. And already, what supermassive games do is tired.
Well, I'd like to point out that further along in this investor call, they talk about the fact that the Dark Pictures anthology has been great for potentially creating multiple new IP.
Potentially! Not that they did, potentially.
Not just the umbrella brand under which each standalone story is released. Quote, yes, there is a brand within the Dark Pictures anthology, but there is a separate intellectual property potential in every single one of them. There is a Man of Medan IP, a House of Ashes IP, The Devil in Me IP. We have nothing to announce right now, but we have some interesting plans about which of those we're going to take to further places.
If it's Man of Medan, I'm gonna fucking hang someone. Like, are you shitting me? That game was... No. The only one that was half decent was Little Hope because it hit this nice sort of Silent Hills vibe. But the other two were poo. Like, congratulations, you own the IP. I own IP. I own the fucking pop culturist. Is it worth anything? No. But you know what I mean? It's like, congratulations, you own 4 different IPs all within the Dark Pictures anthology. Doesn't mean it's good just because you own it. It's like NFTs. Yeah, you own it. Whoop-de-doo. I'm not excited for them. Like, unless the devil is in me or whatever the fucking porno they named this one after, like, unless it's really good, they need to fucking check themselves, because I know the original Dark Pictures anthology, the agreement was 10 games or something, which is already fucking insane, and they're 4 in and it's already losing steam. Like, woohoo. So we'll wait and see. Quick bits. Blizzard wants to know if you would pay $45 for an Overwatch 2 skin. I'll tell you right now, fucking no. Max?
Yeah, no.
Good. Plagiarism claim has been raised over Loyal Samoyed, quote, skin in Call of Duty Warzone. It's not a claim. It's fucking 100% a rip. Almost down to the smallest detail. That's disgusting.
The biggest problem is he's a solo independent artist, and I would argue that Activision Blizzard have the best lawyers in the business.
They most certainly do. And they're like, if he was to go, hey, that's mine, they go, fucking prove it, mate. And then he proceeds to get face fucked by legal fees. It's not worth chasing, regardless of how accurate. Like, that is the mighty power of the big fucking corporation. The balls at which they just straight copied something and then went, what are you going to do about it? Huh? They pulled the trailer down as if like, oh, no one ever saw it, you know. But I'll give it 6 weeks. It'll be back on the fucking store. Tencent looks poised to become the largest shareholder in Ubisoft as it flies to France to secure a deal with the Guillemot family, who founded the firm and currently control 15% of its shares. It's interesting that Vivendi tried to do the same thing, but back then no one realized that Ubisoft was full of fucking rapists and sexual assault people. So, like, I understand why they were like, no, we can't sell it to some company. China, they're all about like Tencent. They're from China. China are all about treating people disgustingly. They're the best brand, the absolute best company to buy Ubisoft, because their mission statements align. Treat people like shit and cover it up. There you go. Congratulations. And speaking of the shit that's being covered up, Beyond Good and Evil 2 found a new lead writer. Yay!
And the one line that Ryan missed, Amazon UK has Hogwarts Legacy art book scheduled for release on the 6th of December this year. I think it also got a new trailer this week.
Yeah,
showing off some more character customization and stuff.
It did, and a bunch of random fucking little clips here and there. Like, is there? Because September would have been the window, because that's the school year in the Hogwarts world. Is there anything that happens in December?
Christmas.
When's the fucking Tri-Wizard tournament? When's that? When's the Yule Ball? I think it's the Yule Ball. Oh, there you go. Side fucking note, by the way. Speaking of Yule Ball, Coles here in Australia are doing these fucking little fucking cardboard little figurine Maduvis. There is one that I need for my son. It's Yule Ball Ron. And you know where you can buy it? Coles Express. And only Coles Express. But you can't just go in and buy the Yule Ball Ron. They just have a fucking stack of them. And there may be some in the ones from Coles Express. Fuck you.
I saw just to follow up on this, I saw a TikTok of someone going in and showing that they come up on receipts as 0.1 cents. So they go in and buy a box of them for $16.
You can do that?
I don't know which calls allows you to do that, but apparently someone out there's doing it. Anyway, upcoming releases for this week. 2 Point Campus, PS4, PS5, August 9th. Arcade Paradise, PS4, PS5, August 11th. Cult of the Lamb, PS4, PS5, August 11th. Rumbleverse, PS4, PS5, August 11th. Rollerdrome, PS4, PS5, August 16th. And Way of the Hunter, PS5, August 16th.
Well, look, 2 Point Campus is my number one. I want to play the living fuck out of that game.
Cult of the Lamb.
Yeah, no, 2 Point Campus, but like it's
Cult of the Lamb.
Look, reviews are out. It looks great. I want to play it. Cult of the Lamb looks fucking sick. I want to play that too.
And Rumbleverse.
Like Rumbleverse. Yeah, fucking
wrestling.
Yeah, I'll give that a bell. Yeah. So it's actually, look, it's been a drought for a little while, and there still is, because there's real no big AAA titles. But at least with like 2 Point Campus and Rumbleverse and the other one, the one that you have a hard on for.
I cannot believe you're not keen on Cult of the Lamb. It's even got farming in it, you fuck.
If they called it soil cultivating of the lamb, I'd suddenly care more. Because
Cult of the Farm.
Yeah, Cult of the Farm. Or farming colts and lambs. I'd be like, okay, well, I'm fucking in. Look, I don't know a lot about the game. I'm just being a dick for no reason. I know you're excited about it. I know some friends of ours are very excited about it. I'll check it out. But anyways, that does bring us to the end of the show. Thank you everyone for listening. For those that do, let us know what your thoughts on about this potential, not rebrand, but like reshaping of what we do. Because PopC will still be part of the brand, of course, but we'd kind of relay everything into the For the Players branding. Let us know what you think, because whether that helps, that'd be cool if it does. You get more people out there. It's one of those things. We've been stagnant for a while. Be cool to do something, I guess. Anyways, Max.
We're looking for Sharkin. Oh.
Yeah. Oh. Even if we can get the Jeff Keighley, I'd be okay with that too. Like, hey, they've rebranded. That's nice. Give me that. I'll be content. Send us home.
Well, everyone, this PlayStation conversation happens every Monday morning at 8 a.m. on podcast services, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you'd like to join us in future conversations, you can. Come and check out our socials, Facebook, Discord, Instagram, and Twitter. All of those links can be found in the description below.
If you want to join the conversation as it happens, head over to twitch.tv/popcultures, where you can watch us record this show live, where you can jump in the chat and become part of the show. If you want to support the show, you can. Tell your friends, tell your family about this PlayStation Pod. If you are listening on podcast service, be sure to give us a 5-star rating and a written review. If you are watching on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. I endeavor to answer every single comment. If you want to support us financially, you can at patreon.com/popcultures, as well as our merchandise store, popculture.com/shop, where you can buy shirts and other assorted shit with our logos on it. But until next week, I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Max Cooper.
And that was For the Players.
You.
Oh.